In a fantasy world, you win the lotto and you're set for life. But realistically, the only way to make more money is to ask your boss for a raise. And there's a right time, right place. Well, there are actually several right times, right places. Fox's job expert, Doug Arms, is here, Vice President of Kelly Services. You're back with us this morning. There are several times. Typically, you want to wait, well, at least we think that we have to wait until the review once a year to ask for the raise.
That's right.
Not true.
And last week we covered, why do you think you deserve a raise and going through that research. This is all kind of predicated on that. And yeah, there are some times that are better for it than others. Personally, I was disappointed that the #1 best time wasn't immediately following your Fox 13 broadcast as the employment expert. I'm coming for you, boss. I'm coming for you. But there are some strategic times that are going to work out better for you. Like, for instance, the first one being about 90 days before your review. So companies that may have an annual review period where it's customary to expect a raise maybe, how do you give your boss enough time to prepare for that? Why, do they go into it thinking, okay, this is what, what Walter's expecting, this is why he feels like he deserves it, and give them time to prepare for it? They may have to lobby on your behalf to get that through. So as much, advanced warning as you can give them, and with some validation for why you think you deserve it is really good a move.
I think this next one is good for both sides of the equation, the employer and the employee, because it's at the start of a big project. You want incentive for doing the big project, and then you want to be paid out on the other side.
Right, and there's a reason that they've asked you to do that project. It's important, you're the right person for it, so you want them going into it saying, look, I understand this is above and beyond, and maybe this is good timing to ask for that. Keep in mind, these aren't suggestions to just every time you get a big project or something like that, every time it's 90 days, just go in and ask for more money, because it gets kind of annoying that way. You have to have gone through the process of determining, yes, I am worth a raise, there are reasons why, you've done your research, and these are good timing, really good leveraged timings to ask for it.
Another one is when you take on another role in the office, or you take on somebody else's responsibility.
Yeah, this is really important going back towards the recession. You go looking into 2008 when people were taking on someone else's job due to downsizing, maybe even 2 people's job. We saw a lot of departments going from 5 people to 2 or 3, taking on a lot of different responsibilities. That kind of a move may come with some extra, some extra compensation that you're due. Now, don't expect to get their entire salary for doing it, but some kind of bump to say, look, I'm committing extra time, extra energy. Certainly, you're relying on me more, and that's another leverage time where if they were to lose you as well, boy, the company may be in a bad spot. So you don't want to use it as like a blackmail thing. You don't want to use it as too much leverage, but there is some validation behind, if I'm doing the work of 2 people, maybe some compensation adjustment is warranted.
And then the new responsibility, I'm kind of getting out of order, and the producer is going to kill me for that, but taking on the new responsibility along with somebody else's responsibility, it kind of ties in with #2 here. If they're giving you this responsibility or someone else's responsibility, you've obviously earned it, and they trust you with it.
Absolutely. So there's times where you may be asked to take on a new software package, a new regulatory standard. There's something going on in your job that it would be very expensive or difficult to find someone else to do that, or there's just not enough of that job for someone to have as a full-time role. So they may ask you to take that on. Again, if it comes with a lot more responsibility, big changes in your job, you may need some extra incentive to want to do that.
And then the last one here is when you get acknowledged for the work that you're doing, a good job that you're doing, that's a good time to say, hey, if you think I'm doing so good, well, why don't you pony up?
And this may be one of those times where maybe why so many bosses aren't that great at telling you you're doing a great job, because they think every time they do it, you're going to ask for more money. So be careful on this one. You want to be gracious, accept praise when it comes in, but if they're acknowledging that you're doing a great job and they're giving you good press around the company, if they're being a real champion for you and saying, hey, doing a great job, and the right people are hearing it, it may be a good time to say, I'm glad you think that, and here's how I back that up with some examples of what kind of a great job you've been doing, and then maybe a good time to ask as well.
These are great suggestions, Doug. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And yeah, like you mentioned, don't ask for it every time you get one of these.
You don't want to do that either.
All right, Doug, thank you.